Here we are in Parak Asiri, explaining this pretty complex idea. Yotze Misham Oila B'Soid HaTorah Miskasha B'Soid Midas Yoim. Just to explain briefly what we learned until now, and that is that we're trying to be matim our lives according to the different parts of the day which are attributed to the different spheros. And there's a difference between Beis HaKnesses and Beis HaMedrash. You know, there's difference even in halachas. There's different halachas for a Beis HaKnesses, a place which is a davening place, Beis HaMedrash, a place which is a learning place. Beis HaKnesses has different type of kedusha, different type of halachas. You're not allowed to do anything chol in a Beis HaKnesses. You're not allowed to eat in a Beis HaKnesses. But
drinking is okay.
Drinking, but the coffee's okay. Beis Medrash is Beis Shel Talmud Chacham. That's a Beis Medrash. Beis Medrash is same as Rav and Shmuel and Hillel and Shammai. They had a Beis Medrash. That's where they were. That's where they lived. So, what we have today halachically is out of the scope of this discussion. It's Nayim and all that. But Ikar Adin, there's a Beis HaKnesses and there's a Beis HaMedrash, two different things. And Kabbalistically, you're walking from one madrega into another. I explained the other day that there's an essential difference between davening and learning. When you're davening, we're speaking to Hashem. When we're learning, Hashem is speaking to us. So the connection is the same sulam, but Malach Elokim Oilim V'Yardim by
different directions.
So it's Masudar that we daven before we learn, according to the Seder, considering we're starting at Alois HaShachar, daven before we learn, because Oilim V'Yardim by first comes the Beis HaKnesses, and then comes the Madrega of Beis HaMedrash. So this is called, in Lashon of a Ramak, Lashon of Zohar really, Shechina Ilah and Shechina Tata. Shechina Ilah, so we thought there was just the Shechina, and we don't even know clearly what that means. But we know, one thing we know about the Shechina is that it's here. It's not out there, it's not in Shemayim, the Shechina is here. Asuli mikdash v'shochanti b'soichan. The whole idea of a Shechina is that Hashem is shoichein beinenu. There's no musag of Shechina in Shemayim. Musag of Shechina is dafka ba'aretz. And in the Shechina there's two parts, apparently, or at least two that we can identify. There's the Shechina Elyoina and the Shechina Tachtoina. So it's all down here, but there's two parts of it. And the Ramak, the Lashon you don't have in your Tomer Devorah, but in the Sefer Or Yokar of the Ramak, he tells us that Hashchina Pamim hi misyachedes b'tfila, Pamim eina misyachedes. You're not always able to accomplish Yichud Hashchina in a Beis HaKnesses. Like, not every time you walk into shul are you getting the Shechina there. Depends on a lot of factors. Mostly, so Yichud HaShechina means that I'm miyachid a place for the Shechina, like the Beis HaMikdash. Miyachid a place for the Shechina. Doesn't always work because, see the Zohar, Aveira Mechabe Mitzvah, Haina Mitzvah's Tefillah. If a person comes into Tefillah with an Aveira, I'm going to explain this again, re-explain this. A person comes into shul with an Aveira, just finished a conversation, Lashon Hara on the phone. So you come in with an Aveira, so that Aveira without Tshuva takes away from the Shechina. The Shechina and that Aveira cannot coexist. Amnam ein Aveira Mechabe Torah, shehi Shechina Elyoina. No matter what you've done wrong, Torah, the Shechina Elyoina, which is Torah, can't become disturbed. It's very simple. That if Hashem's talking to us, that has purity to it. Nobody's going to change what Hashem is saying to us, Torah. If we're talking to Hashem, so our dibur has to be pure, the makam has to be pure. So an Aveira that we would do, chas v'shalom, takes away from the Yichud Shechina Tata. Whereas once we're holding in Shechina Ilah, which is Divrei Torah, so Aveira can't have any effect on it. Lashon is On that it says, Leizaza Shechina miYisrael. Leizaza Shechina miYisrael means that can't be changed. That's there. That's a Metzias. See, the Beis HaMikdash, let's say, could be built, the Beis HaMikdash could be destroyed. All tali in Mipnei Chatoinu, Golina Meretzeinu. It's all tali in us. Because an Aveira can be Mechaber the Shechina. That's the Shechina Tata. The Beis HaMikdash is the Shechina Tata. The Shechina Ilah, which Yecheskel was talking about, that the Merkava of the Shechina Ilah, that's what the Merkava is. So that Shechina Ilah, nobody can take that away. Could be taken away from us, but can't take it away. So how do you access the Shechina Ilah? Leave it on Torah. Because Torah, instead of working on what we're doing, we're working on what Hashem is saying. Everybody follow me on this? Let me just, I'm sorry, forgive me, I just want to make sure I'm clear. Meaning that, like the language that maybe we're more used to in this Europe is Isarusa de Leila and Isarusa de Lasata. I'm not saying this to complicate, I'm saying to make it clear. That Isarusa de Lasata has to do with what we're doing. Isarusa de Leila has to do with what Hashem is doing. What Hashem is doing, nobody can contaminate. It's like, Eina Mikvah, Megabel Tumah. There's things that are Ba'atzam Tahar. It's very interesting that something which is Mechuber L'Karka can't become Tameh. It's Hashem's. It's Mechuber L'Karka. Something that we do, a Keli, can be Megabel Tumah. It's always the same thing. Always the same thing. What we do has to have purity to it. What Hashem does also has to have purity to it, but it does. Nobody's Matame anything that Hashem does. So a Beis Medrash, in a sense, has an automatic Tara, which is why there's so many halachas of Beis HaKnesses, and there's not so many halachas of Beis HaMedrash. Because Beis Medrash is Shechina Ilah, nobody's going to mess up that Kedusha. You could drink coffee, you could go to sleep, you could even do an Aveira in a Beis Medrash. Beis Shel Talmud Chacham. The Amoraim were makbid if they wanted to argue in learning, they didn't argue in Shul, they went to Beis Medrash and argue. That's why they made a different place. They made a different place that, let's say a rich Kehillah that could have a Beis Medrash and a Beis HaKnesses. It should be two different rooms, two different halachas. In Eretz Yisrael, it was harder for them to do that economically, so Kol Batei Knesios B'Yisrael Al Tzlai HaYois. They made it Tzlai. So Beis HaKnesses should be a shtickle Beis HaMedrash. It's not like we have right here. But it's not a Be'etzim the way it should work. So the point is that what we're offering and evaporating up obviously has to be as pure, and it can become impure if you start talking in shul. It can become impure if you have an avera. It can become impure if there is avrayonim in the shul as part of the minyan. All that could create an impurity, and the only reason it does that is because we're in charge of this. And since we're in charge of it, so the purity of it is essential.
And I'm just a little bit confused because I thought the Shechina Tata is pervasive also. So if one person has an Avera on them, how about the rest of the Kehillah?
No, suffer, because I'm not sure what pervasive means in this context.
Shechina is either here or not here.
Right, it's either here or it's not here. So
is this for me or is it for everyone?
Everyone. You need a minyan to create the Shechina. As I say before in the Gemara that the first Asara Rishonim that come to Shul are bringing the Shechina. It's you. The Asara Rishonim are bringing the Shechina. The 11th guy doesn't bring the Shechina anymore, but he certainly can mess it up. The only look, there were Tzadikim that were makbid to have only a certain type in their minyanim. Like they wouldn't let them Machal Shabbos into their minyan. I'm not suggesting today. Different story. We're in a different life we're living. There's a special din at Kol Nidre in Yom Kippur. Somehow the kedusha of Yom Kippur is such that the Shechina Tata can't be moved with, and probably the pshat there is. We'll get to it someday. Is that the Shechina Yoina actually comes lamata on Yom Kippur? Lifnei Hashem titaru, Lifnei Hashem titaru, Lifnei Hashem titaru. So it's yeah.
Rav said that the Shechina is only down this world. So the Shechina Eloi and Tatai, they're both down this world?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Aren't there degrees of the Shechina?
Why?
Because why is it all or nothing? I mean, you can have somebody with an Avera, why doesn't it just, okay, it lifts a little bit, but why does it have to be, there's an Avera.
I don't know about degrees, I'm not sure what that means, but there are different positions certainly of the Shechina. There's actually, the Chazal reckon 10 different places where the Shechina could be. But Bigadol, so is there a shtickle Shechina? Is there more Shechina on the Har HaBayis than there is here? But by the way, I keep saying, I'm masupik about it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Har HaBayis, you can't get a minion. Like it's not. That is a place which is kitchel shaita kitchel asalov. No question, it has a potential kedusha. No question. You build a basic mikdash, seven ashasiya there, but I'm lo barurli that you're accessing the Shechina more. I'm not.
Why did they take off their shoes? If I don't have to take off their shoes.
Kavod HaMakom, there was once a basic mikdash.
Factually, is that...
You don't take off your shoes for the Shechina. That I know about it. It's not the. In other words, Kohanim take off their shoes. We don't take off our shoes. Same Shechina. It's different.
Is the Shechina a different level, or we access
Shechina. We're talking now about the Shechina.
No,
The Chefza.
Factually, the question...
Right. We're talking about the Chefza of the Shechina. We're not talking about.
So the different levels of Shechina.
Right, but
access
but understand me again that if we're the ones that are Goyim the Shechina, which is Shechina Tata, so then it has to be pure. Otherwise, you're not Goyim any Shechina. If Hashem is the one who's putting the Shechina like Torah, like Yom Kippur, so that's possibly like, if you could imagine, the Kodesh HaKadoshim, and on Yom Kippur, so it's called Hashem Shechina. That's where we're accessing. So it's not that it shouldn't be pure. Of course, you have to be pure, but it's automatically. That's the Shechina. It's not our Baisim B'chlal. So what we're stressing over here is our Maisim. What does our Maisim do? Now the whole point, if you will, let's just take a look at the Mishnah Berurah. Mishnah Berurah, yeah.
It's here.
Okay. How'd you know I want it? It's not here. In Shulchan Aruch, Simon Beis. Let's look at this for a second. Important halacha. Aser leilach b'koyma zakufa. It's an iser to go koyma zakufa. How do you want to translate it?
An upright posture.
Nice. So you're not allowed to walk with an upright posture. Like my mother was wrong. Aser leilach b'koyma zakufa. V'lo yelech Arba Amos Begiloy Arosh. And also you shouldn't walk 4 Amos without a yarmulke. So my Uncle Irving was wrong. Everybody's wrong. So you have to walk kilo not become a skufa. I'm not sure what the shear is. I don't know if you're supposed to do like a brisker shear or a chazanish shear. I don't know how much. But you're supposed to walk not haughtily. And you're supposed to wear a yarmulke. Zok the Rama mipnei chvoid hashchina. That's chvoid hashchina. So Mishnah Berurah says, b'koymas zekufa, shedoich. What happens if you walk with a upright posture? Shedoichek raglei hashchina. Because if you walk like this, you're pushing away the raglei hashchina. Okay, kasa acharim da'aser afilu pachas me'arba hamois. Ufasha da'afilu oimed bin koimai ve'eno hoil klal. So it's not about walking, it's not about dalad amos, just even to stand in one place. Become a skufa is doichek raglei hashchina. I got Rav Moshe Feinstein, that's how points out Medayik in this Shulchan Aruch, that you see that the Isser of the Koimas Kufa is a bigger Isser than Gilui Rosh. Like, we're Rebak not to walk around without a yarmulke, usually, should be. But it seems that the Kal V'chomer, you have to be makbid not to walk around or even stand in one place. You see here there's more machmer. Koimas Kufa is more machmer than a Gilui Rosh. Gilui Rosh is the second halach. So,
What's Raglei Hashchina?
oh, Daran very good. What is raglei? What is he talking about? It should be
It's a
raglei.
physical thing. It's not a physical thing. It can't be a physical thing.
Physical. Was in the yarmulke physical?
No. The feet of the Shechina. I mean,
Oh, what does it mean? So, like when you read this quickly, so you don't even notice the word, right? Raglei Shechina. When you read a little slower, you say, okay, Raglei Shechina, kilu, like the Shechina's here that has those little feet coming out and pushing away the feet, like the bottom of the Shechina. The lashon comes from the Gemara in Kedushin Lamed Aleph. And there it says, Mefurish, this lashon, the Mishnah Berurah, interestingly, doesn't quote the Gemara. Sh'doicheg Raglei Shechina. That's all he says, but it's actually a Mefurish Gemara in Kedushin Lamed Aleph, that you're doicheg the Raglei Hashchina, and there the Gemara explains what does that mean. Gemara says Mefurish. What does it mean? Because it says in Yeshayahu, Nevuah of Yeshayahu that we read on Shabbos Rosh Chodesh, Koyamar Hashem Hashemayim Kisi Ba'aretz Adon Raglai Bonit Bonem Koyamar Hashem Yeshayahu being Megala, something that nobody ever knew. Hayamay Hashem. Hashemayim Kisi. Don't think that there's just one chair in Shemayim and that's where Hashem is sitting. Quoting Rashi, Hashemayim Kisi. The ganze Shemayim is Kisi. The whole thing. Viha Aretz. And what's the Aretz? Hadoim Raglai. Which means my footstool. So let's have if we're permitted, let's have an image in our mind of a Yoshe Bashamayim, but Hashem's feet is Ba'aretz. The feet, the Shechina is the Raglayim Kiviyachol of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's not the feet of the Shechina. Raglei Shechina, the feet of the Shechina. Meaning that the Shechina itself is the Raglayim. That's a Gemara. Haaretz Hadoim Raglai. I'm talking now, I don't know how much could we understand of this already, but like Mat. What is the pshat in the feet of HaKadosh Baruch Hu? What's the mashal here? What the pshat is, we'll never know. But what is the mashal? What does it mean to sit, and what does it mean the feet? Hashemayim kisi. What does it mean a chair? What does it mean a footstool? So what's the nimshal here? The feet. Yeshayahu continues. He says, "Eze bayis asher tivnu li, ve'eze makom menuchasi." Because the question was, how do you build a Beis Hamikdash? How could a building hold the Shechina? And here Yeshayahu is saying a gilui. Eze bayis asher tivnu li, eze makom menuchasi. Where is this? What's the bayis? What's the makom menucha? The feet, l'dati, represent the mobility of a person. Like you can have a very strong upper part, but you're not mobile if you don't have feet, or if your feet don't work. So the feet makes us from a yoshev to a holech. The feet are taking the important part of the body. It's like, you got wheels. Merkava. Taking the important part of the body, the digestive system, the heart, the brain, the senses of a person, and is able to control it. The feet are really in control. That's what the Raglayim are. They really put it from here to there. When the feet are moving, the body gets tired in the human sense. We're tired. Could you do me a favor? I locked the cleaning lady out of my house. She's standing at the door. Just give her a key. Thank you.
But the mashal is hadom ragla.
Oh, so what is hadom raglai? A footstool. When do you use a footstool? When you want
resting,
to.
when you want to rest.
Want to rest your feet. Meaning that here's where I'm b'menucha. So like Golus is all about movement. Shechina begalusa means Shechina is there. Eza bayis asher tivduli, eza mokai b'duchasi. The Beis Hamikdash is the pshat. That's the footstool. Okay, we're here to rest. We're here to stay. This is where we're staying. Huh? It's so we're talking about Raglei Hashchina, Manyen, that we're talking about Raglei Hashchina. We're talking about the Shechina that can move, and the Shechina that can move, Raglei Hashchina, has a Hadoim Raglei. There is also a footstool for those Raglaim. Shehi Hashchina. Aretz Hadoim Raglei. The whole Aretz is Hadoim Raglei. So it's Mina Aretz. So since it's Mina Aretz, Hadoim Raglei, it needs a resting place. What's that resting place? Beis Hamikdash. B'Katan, Yecheskel Hanavi says, this is, by the way, the subject of Yecheskel. The Sefer Yecheskel, which we skip. So important, so fundamental in all of Yiddishkeit. This is what he's talking about. Merkava is moving, and Beis HaKnesses, Eli Lemikdash Mat. It's a shtickle makam menucha. Menucha velanachal. Yeah.
The Raglei Shechina and the Pnei Shechina can't be the Ilah in Tachtad?
Could be. We're working it up. You're just ahead of me. Let me just see something. Let's just look at this pasuk before we come back down to it. Mishpatim. Pasuk talks about Har Sinai, you know. Okay, right. Learn a little bit of a puzzle. Vayal Moshe v'Aaron Nadav v'Avihu v'Shivim miziknei Yisrael. 74 people ascended Har Sinai, the bottom. Vayiru es Elihei Yisrael, and they saw God. They saw the God of Israel. Dahainu, like they saw God. Vayiru es Elohim. Would we say? I think would we say the God of Israel? We mean the one that we've identified as God. We've Avram Avinu. We say, okay, Avraham, okay, Yitzchak, okay, Yaakov. Like they've identified you as Hashem. So we don't have to start looking all around the place. Like Aye B'Koyim Kivoyta. Like they've identified you as Hashem, and that's why we're davening to you. That's what we start off our short answer, right? Why you? Because he's Avraham, okay, Yitzchak. Yaakov. So Vayiru es Elokei Yisrael seems a little bit mutar. By the way, Rashi says just before we go further, Nistaklu v'hitzitzu v'dischayvu misa. They peaked and they were high misa. Eloshlei rotza kodesh baruch hu la'arviv simchas haTorah. Hashem didn't want to ruin the party. V'himtin l'nadav v'avihu ad yom chanukas hamishkan. So Rashi says, so Nadav v'avihu passed away for this Aveira. They died for looking at Hashem by the chanukas hamishkan. L'zakenim, the other ones, the 70, ad v'yihi ha'am k'misaynanim. V'ativer bam eish Hashem v'toichol b'ksei ha'machana. So that's, ultimately, they were punished. What was the chet? Exactly? Nanin? Doesn't say they were nanin. By Euro Selekei Yisrael.
Opening their eyes.
That's something so terrible? By Euro Selekei Yisrael.
That's
what's Moshe's Lashon?
I always think, I was much as it took me till I was about 25 years old to realize that it didn't make sense. But my father always told me that if you look at the Kohanim when they're duchening, you can go blind in one eye. If you look again, you go blind in two eyes. If you look a third time, you get your vision back. I always thought it made sense until I got it. Yeah.
Moshe says, Hashem says to Moshe, Lo Yira Adam.
You're not allowed to look. Lo Yerani Adam V'chai. You're not going to be able to see me. Moshe Rabbeinu said, what were they seeing anyways? It was kind of so. We don't have to guess too much because we just have to read the rest of the pasuk. By Yeros Elahei Yisrael, v'tachas raglov. Oh, Kemaisa livnas hasaper. Back to the raglayim. Tachas raglov. This is what they saw, and this is what they were punished for. But tachas raglov, and they saw under his feet. What's under his feet? Go back to Yeshayahu, Samach Vav.
Footstool.
Footstool. What's under his feet? Hashem's relaxing on Har Sinai Kiviyach. Tachas Raglov, and what did that look like? Says the Chumash. Kemaise livnas hasapir. May I? As another diuk, I mean, Kemara livnas hasapir. What's Kemaisa livnas hasapir? It's an unusual lashon. And what's livnas hasapir anyways? A sapphire is a stone. That's what Moshe Rabbeinu sapphire. That's what Moshe Rabbeinu took up to Har Sinai for the Luchas Shniyos. A levena is not a stone. I'll put all the swarm on the first one. Where do we have levena? Right. Vayihi kol haaretz safeh chasud dvarim achadim. Vayihi benasa mikedem. We left the east. V'yimtzu bika ba'aretz Shinar and went to Bavel. Vayeshvu sham, and that's where we live. Vayoimru isha re'eu hava nilbana levenim. Hava nilbana levenim nisrafa l'sreifa. V'atehi lahem halavena la'oven v'hachemar haya lahem lachomer. What was the chap here? This sounds like the technical sheet that the Kabbalah gives you. How do we build the Migdal Bavel? Okay, we're going to make ourselves some bricks. This is Chumash here.
Man-made.
Yomer Isha Re'eu. Who said that? Yeah. Man-made. Hava Nilban Alavenim. Let's do our own thing. Stones come from the Aretz. Hashem made the stones. Stones, you get down to the bedrock. Levenim means this is something we can do. Our Maisa. Kemaisa livnas hasapir. Kemaisa livnas hasapir. Hava nilban levenim. This was the whole headspace of the Bonei HaMigdal. That Hava v'naseh lanu shem. We have material, we can make bricks, we can build, there are man-made stones. It's not just a construction advice, like we're going to use kir geves, or we're going to use kir this, we're going to use kir that. No, Havid Nilban Levena means that this daf can make it out of polyester, like daf can make it out of something which is man-made, because that's our Maisa, and not the Maisa of Hashem. Meaning it's Isarusa de Lusata, if you will, used on a Kedusha level, and abused on a Tameh level, but this is the Koach HaAdam. Chazal say, Rashi I think even brings, that there was no Avonim in, Rashi says, Levenim she'ein Avonim beBavel. Shehibika. This particular part, the Palestinians know how to they know how to find stones in Bavel. What happens in Iraq? They throw bricks at your car? is to be man-made. Ein avonim bebavel, as Rashi says. Ein avonim bebavel. Lulei de mistafina. The omek hadavar is that ein avonim bebavel is they're not mitmatzeh, they're not mityaches to that which Hashem made. They're mityaches to what the technology that they created. Technology that they created.
So they went to.
Levainim are technology.
So they went to a Bika. They wanted to build a Migdal Rosh Hashanah, they should have found the highest mountain. If they went to because they wanted it from there to start from them, not from Hashem.
Lasato. It's a Ruza de Lasato. Sort of taking control. It is a whole new look at the Migdal Bavel. But
So what did these 74 people do that were wrong?
so what's Nageya for us? This is a parsha to itself. What's Nageya for us? So interesting that they climbed Har Sinai and they saw Elokei Yisrael. What's Elokei Yisrael? Not the God we identified. The koach of Klal Yisrael is what we can create. Elokei Yisrael is not a different God, chas v'shalom, but a different koach in the Bria. Like, here we went, 74 people. Moshe, Aaron, Nadav, Avihu, Shivim Zakaim. Went to Har Sinai, and already at the foot of Har Sinai, they peeked and they saw unbelievable koach Yisrael. And what did they see? How did they see it? What was the mashal that the Chumash gives to what they saw? Kemaisa livnas hasapir. Livnas hasapir is an oxymoron.
Yeah.
Elamai. We saw that it's not about what Hashem made. Let's put it this way. It's not about Shechina Ilah. It's about Shechina Tata. It's not about what everything is bashert. It's about how we can make things happen, which is so true, by the way. Malach Elikim, Oilim V'Yardim. The whole Nefesh HaChaim is dedicated to this one point, what we do. The Rav Scheinberg Shlita, the Rashiva of Torah, so we call that Friday. I hope I'm not talking out of school, but I don't think so. He said he's got to speak someplace. He's not ready. Tell me something over that the Rosh Hashiva said. Comes from America. So just he was traveling for raising money. This and that. You know. So talking about Balach Elokim Oilam V'Yardim Boy. So Oilam V'Yardim Boy Koydem Oilam B'Acher Kach Yardim. That it starts off with our Meisim. So he said, who said that? I said, Rechai Voloshin. He said, I asked you to tell me something the Rosh Hashiva said. It was Rechai Voloshin. Okay, good. It's nice. But he was, so I said, I once asked the Rosh Hashiva. I was ready for you. I was asked the Rosh Hashiva, why don't you talk on Shabbos? He didn't talk on Shabbos. Tainas Dibur. Not his whole life, for about 84 years. didn't talk on Shabbos. Came out nothing. Somebody'd ask him a shayla, either, he went like this. If he had to say something, he said something. Or else take a sefer. They didn't talk Tainas Dibur on Shabbos, which is, if you try it, try not talking for a day. It's much more difficult than not eating for a day. Output is much more vital than intake. That's interesting. But like all these words get stuck in your brain. It's like crazy. So I once asked him, why don't you talk on Shabbos? So he said to me that when the Chaim Voloshin says that when you talk, every word you say is Boirei Lamas. So you're not allowed to be Boirei Lamas on Shabbos. So he was half joking and half serious, because what we need to understand, Linyanenu, is that Malach Elokim Oilim V'Yardim Boy, that mamash every word we say changes the whole Shemayim. So a tremendous amount, and therefore Shabbos is not a time of Bria. Shabbos is a time of Menucha. Shabbos is a time where we're not Boyer, where HaKadosh Baruch is, where we don't do the Lamed Tes Malachos. because we're not boyer. We don't even build a Mishkan. Shabbos. Well, is it by accident that we learned all the halachas from the Mishkan? The Mishkan is the Ar Yisarusa de Lasata. It's not just here we have a construction example in the Torah. The pshat is that, are we making the Shechina or is Hashem making the Shechina? So normally we're Sheishes Yamim Tasim Lachtecha. Normally you're making the Shechina. But Shabbos, Hashem Lekecha. Kadosh Baruch Hu's lead. So let's make it fancy and say Sheishes Yamim Shechina Tata. Yom HaShabbos Shechina Ilah. Good?
So is that their chait that it was on Shabbos that this happened?
No. What was the chait? I'm just trying to be Makar V'Laseichel. What we see is that this was all about one thing, Koach Yisrael. Elikei Yisrael. Hitzitzu Be'elikei Yisrael, their chait was Lanias Daiti, that they were considering a Maisa of Migdal Bavel. It was the same chet as the Migdal Bavel, in a way, because the Migdal Bavel was a chet of once we know the Koach HaAdam, once we see we have technology, we have the technology. If we have the technology, we can build. So Lamali Hashem. Oh, I'm dim. Yeah. Koma Zakufa. Right. Koma Zakufa means what? What are you saying?
I forgot about that. So it's about us.
It's too easy to understand. It's the most inspiring thing in the world and the most dangerous thing in the world. The most inspiring thing in the world is look at the koach that we have in the Bria. Hafla v'fela. Look at the koach we have to change. Every word is boyer lames. Every mice and mitzvahs, even not mitzvahs, just plain things, changes the whole world. When the world is changed, so that's talking about peace or war. That's talking about violence or non-violence. That's talking about illness and non-illness. That's what it means that the world is changing. We're not talking about, some kind of a metaphysical change that nobody can even tell. We're talking about real change. Well, how the world looks has to do with our meisim, except it doesn't go like this. I do you a chesed, so now you're mechusad. The pshat is, I do a chesed, I'm evaporating this mitzvah down, and it comes down. The Shechina comes down on both of us. The Shechina shruya. So when we're talking about Shechina, what we're referring to is the Shechina Tata, what we can do with Tefillah, Ma'irtik, Mitzad Echad. Mitzad Sheni, if I'm in the matzav of Tefillah, as you say, Darren Bekoma Zakufa, so I'm doichek, says the Mishnah Berurah Raglai Shechina. The Hadoim Raglai of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which is the Shechina, I'm pushing away Dafka because now I'm taking it for myself. And Nadav Aviyu, and the Zakenim, they had an oynish similar to the oynish if you go into it of the Balei Hamigdal, Bonei Hamigdal.
But are we saying that they had that in mind when they saw that? They
Yatzitzu.
maybe went beyond the boundaries of what was.
But Yatzitzu means that going beyond the boundaries. What does it mean to peek? You're looking where you don't, like you're crossing a boundary where you don't belong. You peek. You're peeking. Either it's there or it's not there. What are you peeking? What Hashem wants to show you, He'll show you.
Peeping Tom.
Yeah. So this was an act of voyeurism. So this is the idea of a levena. The levena v'halavena hayalahem la'even. So it's v'halavena, and it's just worth like meditating on the pasuk that most people skip. V'halavena hayalahem la'even. And they saw the levena. Moshe Rabbeinu took dafka Evan Sapir for the Luchas Shniyos. It's Sapir Evan is the bedrock is Hashem's creation, which was Tachas Oil Moshe. This is Rashi. With only Tachas Oil Moshe, there was this rock. Meaning, Moshe Rabbeinu recognized what it is. Mitzad Sheni. Look what he did. He went up to Har Sinai, argued with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, negotiated with Hashem, got us a pardon for the Maisa Egel, got the Luchos Shnios on those, but it was so Lecha, Shnei Luchos Avonim Kirushayim, so Lecha. So such a delicate balance between Koima Skufa and not Koima Skufa. And such a delicate balance. And that's why with tefillah, anything can knock it off. That's what he says. Torah, if it's real Torah, that is, you can't, that's the Shechina law. The Shechina Tata, so that's tefillah. If somebody's standing become a skufa, somebody did an aver, somebody spoke Lashon Hara, somebody comes in, it knocks it off. Unless you have a Yom Kippur, which is filling the room, Shechina law is filling the room. Here, there's such a difference between understanding. Let's just make a summary, and then we'll close. We'll finish on Thursday. Like the good news and the bad news. The good news is that we can make bricks. We can build skyscrapers. There's some kind of an aver from the Chumash to build a skyscraper. Like build skyscrapers, right? Build buildings, build stuff. So the good news is we can make technology. We can use technology. So lo b'chinam.
Except the shul has to be the highest building.
Oh, let's say let's turn that sentence around. The highest building has to be La Hashem. That's the din in Shulchan Aruch. The highest, when you're going to use those levanim, it has to be La Hashem. So to take it, v'naseh lanu shem. That's what they said. V'naseh lanu shem. So what you're taking is your koach and the bria, and you're abusing the whole thing. Even the Atzilei B'nai Yisrael were meitzits. They crossed that very, very fine boundary. It's almost frightening. Mitzad Sheni, a makom tefillah is a place of technology. It's a place of levena. They saw it kimaisa. The lashon is Elikei Yisrael, v'roas Elikei Yisrael. The koach of Klal Yisrael, Elokim means koach, nachon. Elikei Yisrael, but it's not the koach of Hashem. They saw the koach of Klal Yisrael, and how did they look at it? How did it appear to them? Kemaisa, Haisi Yadayim, Levena Livnas Hasapir Ki Ein Heaven Begovel. So that's what's going on. The Hadom Raglai is Hainohach, because the Raglayim, just to sum it up, is that which is mazes the Shechina. Hadom Raglai is the menucha of the Shechina. That's all here. Whether HaKadosh Baruch Hu is b'menucha kiviyachol, I'm going to leave this in a non-understandable place with my Kashas Mechila. But if HaKadosh Baruch Hu is b'menucha, Eza bayis asher tivnu li eza malkei menucha si, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is totally in what? Armaisa. Because that menucha of HaKadosh Baruch Hu can't fartrog any type of an avera. Because what you're talking about is going from Shechina Elyoina to Shechina Tachtoina. Can't handle averas. Sina Shechina, poof, it's out of here. We talked about Friday night. Eretz Yisrael, the Avos kept Torah in Eretz Yisrael because otherwise you can't be here. V'saki ha'aretz, I said, you get spit out of here. That's what happened to the Beis HaMikdash. You just get spit out of here. You rida. Because you can't do it. So the Aretz, it's all about what's going on in the Aretz. So on the one hand, we're the Raglayim of the Shechina, Raglei Shechina, meaning we're in control. The feet are in control of where the body sits, or stands, or moves, or goes. That's what we're in control of. So Chamzi Yecheskel, and he tells us not to worry so much, Merkava, the Shechina will go right with you. But the dangerous part of it is Koimas Gufa. The Koimus Zakufa is Doichik Raglei Shechina. It becomes the Maisa of the Bnei Amigdal, and it becomes the Maisa of Nadav. Thank you for listening.
Good.